Welcome all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily Culture. I'm Marek Cecuła, and we take you today for a journey through Polish art. Here with us is Marek Cecuła, a legend of Polish porcelain. Thank you very much for inviting us to this place. Sir, your exhibition is right now in the Institute of Industrial Design in Warsaw. Your porcelain, your products are there. Tell us a little bit why is it so unique? Why your projects are so unique, and so that's why they're world famous.
Well, the uniqueness of that is that this is a retrospective exhibition. It is an exhibition which consists of, 35 years of my work, maybe more. A collection of work which I brought from the United States, from my studio, and work which was done also here in Poland. And all this work together is exhibited in that exhibition, which is called Marek Cecuła, 1970 2221. It is the whole period of my work is now exhibited in that exhibition, and it's divided in 4 different sections, because in my work I have different groups of work, different systems, different processes, and divided this exhibition in 4 different stages, which is the first one is industrial work, which is coming from my designs, which is I'm doing for the industrial product, and it's produced in the large quantities. Next section is the studio, which is more unique work, more handmade, and it's less, quantities are much smaller. The third part is the art and design. Art and design is typical of my work, which is actually transition between the design and art. It's work which is actually utilitarian or functional, but also decorative and also serving as an aesthetical visual material, and not necessarily only for serving tea or coffee. So these objects are unique, and exploration of the porcelain is really well visible in that place, because it is interpretation of different functional qualities of the work. The 4th section, it's the most interesting section because it's industrial interpretation. Since my work and my life with ceramic always was surrounding industry, I work with industry, I participate in industrial project, design for industry. So in this section, I'm showing the work which is interpretation of industrial product. This is mean that I actually taking industrial product which is as it is produced by the factory and manipulate this work, changing it, do different aspect of integration into the work, but that I change it from the mass production into the uniqueness. So this is the work which is I take it from the production, do my interpretation on the work, and then it's exhibited as a one of a kind of work. It is a process which is seeing today in the design, where designers are working in what's called ready-made. Ready-made is the type of process where we are not necessarily creating the whole object by ourselves, but taking existing object and manipulate it, decorate it, or redecorate it, or changing this object to the extent that it's becoming unique and become more artistical than functional.
So it shows your lifelong process changing your artistic path in creating porcelain. And if we could start from the very beginning, because if you could tell us or guide us through countries and places and schools where you learn how to create porcelain.
Well, the story is quite long. I left Poland in 1960, where I started already in the technical artistic school, the touching ceramic. I was just beginning in that. And when I left Poland, I left to Israel, and there in Israel I meet immediately a place where it was ceramic studio. That's how it happened. And this is mean that it actually supposed to happen like that, because I was involved in ceramic already. So then when I came to Israel, immediately I was connected with the ceramic studio. Well, in that studio I continued my study of ceramic as a apprentice, more or less. It wasn't really school. At that time was not so many departments of ceramic existing in general. So I started as a practicing ceramic with my teacher there, and producing, learning to throw it on the wheel, learning about the clay, about glazes, about fire, And this is becoming my elemental knowledge which is really to the rest of my life. Actually, I'm utilizing that knowledge to create my ceramic, mainly porcelain.
So you're taking part in producing porcelain that in Israel for everyday use, yes?
No, in Israel actually it wasn't porcelain yet in the beginning, because the porcelain material wasn't available for ceramic studio. It was material for the industry, and it was existing only industrial sector. So I specifically was very much interested in this white, beautiful, transparent, noble material like porcelain, and I was really researching and experimenting to develop my own porcelain, and I did. And I have very nice results in the beginning, in 1970s already, where I started to work in porcelain. It was no new material for ceramists in general, I mean for studio, and not many people used porcelain at that time. So it was a unique situation when handmade, not industrial, but handmade porcelain started to come up from the studio, and utilitarian and artistical work was appearing in that material. It was in Israel already, and then when I left to Brazil in 1972, that was there in Brazil I have my first contact with the industry, where it's real porcelain, really the process of porcelain existing in the production. And this was for me a big experience, because I started really understanding also this aspect of industrial porcelain, and could actually join my skill of design into the product, which could be actually produced by factory in the processes of industrial processes. So this was my very introducing to porcelain, and that was very good experience. And then after I already left to New York, and then story go on with ceramic as it go.
And we will talk more about it in the next episode. That was the story of Marek Cecuła, a legend of Polish porcelain, from Israel through Brazil to New York and back to Poland here in Chmielów. Stay with us because it's truly fascinating.